to start the show. The Good Life with DT and Spicoli. Welcome to the Good Life.
You are now listening to the Good Life Podcast.
Good Life. Good Life. These boys are crazy.
You are now listening to the Good Life Podcast.
Good Life. What? A Good Life.
Spicoli, my guy. What's up, dude?
Yo, everybody's looking beautiful on this podcast today. It's so good to see David Taylor, Lady Boss Man, Sir Stephanie Doty back on the podcast. So good to see you looking fresh.
Hey.
We got to bring in some more music knowledge for what we're talking about today, man. I know we both have some good shit. Stephanie immediately was like, I want to be a part of this.
Oh, of course.
You guys want to talk about music? Let's do this. So this is going to be fun. So let's lay out what we're talking about. We put out a poll, and I think we're going to do it weekly. We're going to put 5 bands against each other and see who everyone thinks the best is out of those 5. I kind of went easy on this one, and I thought it was going to be an easy winner, but, man, there's kind of a twist in this one.
Yeah, so tell us about what bands are on it.
We thought we made it pretty simple. We knew who the outcome was going to be, but let's talk about who we had. We had Linkin Park, Breaking Benjamin, Korn, System of a Down, and Cold. So let's just go from the least votes to the most. The least votes of all 5 was Cold.
That's a shame because Cold is so good.
They are, dude, and I think Year of the Spider was probably one of the best albums I've ever heard, but they're not as relevant as the other ones still, and I think that's probably why they got the least votes.
I feel like that band has always been very underrated, in my opinion. Like, yeah, I mean, obviously Suffocate.
Right.
By far. You hear that song and it's like, jam, turn it up. But it's just, I don't know. Like, they're a great band. I have never seen them live, surprisingly. But, like, I feel like they're very underrated, though.
Do you know the first time I saw them live was with Evanescence down in Lincoln?
Yeah, that was a killer show.
That was such a good show, dude. And they played, Scooter Ward wrote a song. I think it was about his sister going through cancer or something called Cure My Tragedy. And he did it live, dude. That dude was like almost breaking down live. And I was like, all right, dude, I gotta check this album out. And that album, front to back, was just fucking bangers, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he was in his element when Year of the Spider came out. That album slapped. I mean, from front to back, I mean, you could wear that album out, go buy another one. It was that good. Like, in that moment, like, whatever that moment was for him, that was huge. And I think they toured the world off that for a year or two. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Well, listen to Steph's comment. She's talking about Suffocate. Stupid Girl was like the biggest hit off that album. And we're talking about songs that weren't even the hits, dude. That was a good album. Mm-hmm. Well, let's piss off Spicoli and Stephanie here, and I think they rightfully should be pissed off because in 4th place came in Nickle Back, and
that's stupid,
I explained Nickle Back to my wife like politics, like you don't want your friends to know what you like, but you know you like them. There's a reason that they are where they are.
No shame, man. That's all. They were my favorite in high school. I don't care. It like brings me back to the small town life, listening to them. Like I moved up here for college in 2005 and then Photograph was out. And that song, I don't care. It made me cry on the way when I was driving up here to move to go to college. I'm like, oh my God. It hits you in the feels. And then, I don't care. And everybody likes Nickelback. I don't care what you say.
They got a formula to the songs. They know what it takes to write those songs. And then when you see them live, they localize every single show. So they'll go out and they will find, important landmarks in each city and then put that up on the big screen. For example, when they were playing at CHI, they had landmarks like people hanging out at the Henry Doorly Zoo, at Memorial Stadium. They had just a bunch of different spots and people were going crazy. People were, singing along to every song. And that's kind of what you want as an artist. You want people to go there and have a good time. And I remember like, oh, if I was single, this would be the night of my life. So many women there, dude. Like, if you're a single dude and you're not going to Nickelback, you are missing out on so many opportunities because everybody, when you go to a Nickelback show, you're having so much fun. You know every single song, and they got from top to bottom. I mean, they got the love songs, they got the breakup songs, they got Something in Your Mouth, they got Animal. You go back to This Is How You Remind Me. I remember debuting that song on the radio, dude.
I remember you.
And I was like, man, who is this Nickelback? Who is this Nickelback band? I really like them, and I went and checked them out, and it was awesome, dude. I remember like people were calling in and requesting that song a lot.
You know, you said something there, man, and that's my biggest point about Nickelback is everybody says they hate Nickelback, right? And everyone's like, they suck. Why would you put Nickelback in that? And I remember my buddy went to a Nickelback show. Unfortunately, I've never seen him live, and it's not because I don't like them. I just haven't seen them. I think Breaking Benjamin opened up for him. I think they've done it multiple times, actually, but he went for Breaking Benjamin. And he said that Nickelback went on and they played for like an hour and a half or 2 hours, and he knew every single song. So even if you're not a Nickelback fan, what the fuck does that say about that band, dude?
Definitely. Like, you could scream, you're screaming your heart out to those songs no matter what. Like, even if you go to the bar, people were playing those songs and people were getting rowdy there too as well. So
Oh, yeah.
I actually got lucky and met them.
Did you?
Once, I did. It was one of those cheesy, like, you know, you kind of fit in to their little hole of a meet and greet. You know, they're standing there, you just go in. But super nice guys. Not douchey at all, like people probably think. But they were just all like, hey, 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 smiles, everything. Like, the nicest guys in the world. So.
And Chad Kroeger got brought up in our podcast before because he's been hit with a shoe or something on stage. He got hit with something hard. Do you remember that? In like Brazil.
Yeah,
like,
I remember that. And we gotta remember it's Chad Kruger. We've been saying his name wrong for years, and he had just done an interview and he said everybody had just thought it was Kroger, and so he just let it roll. But it's actually Chad Kruger. I think he announced that a couple months ago, but it blew my mind. I'm like, what? You mean it's Chad Kruger? It's not Kroger? And he's like, I just never stopped anybody. Because the interview would start and he would just answer the question and didn't even say anything about his last name.
I mean, Kruger definitely sounds
it's
cooler.
close.
Kruger definitely sounds cooler.
Kruger sounds cooler than Kroger.
And people forget that dude came out with the dude from Saliva did that Spider-Man song. I mean, dude, he's done so much shit that's just like you forget about. And you're like, dude, how are you gonna say you don't like Nickelback? You tell me you're hanging out with your girl or your guy, and Far Away comes on, and you're not just like, you don't change that song, dude. You don't change that song.
Dude. That song is so good. And let's not forget. Okay, do we think it was weird that he was married to Avril or cool?
I forgot that he was married to Avril.
Weird.
I mean,
what's going on with Avril? What is she just?
She was with
what is
Maud
Avril?
for a little bit. Now she was with Tyga. I don't know what.
And then that's done. I mean, I feel like I don't know. She's kind of like.
Should we get Avril on and see what she says about it?
We should.
Should we try to do
Yeah,
that?
I feel like that just kind of went under the table. Like, why? How did we only saw one or two pictures? They were together for several years, and we only saw like one or two pictures of them. And Chad has always been in the public eye. I thought so was Avril, but like we literally saw nothing. Like the internet deleted all proof that they even existed.
I wonder if people didn't like it.
A weird time.
Yeah, I wonder if people didn't like it because she was like in that punk scene and he was like in the mainstream scene. Maybe that's why.
But they're both Canadian, so
They are.
it worked out.
Canadian, eh? Blame Canada.
Hey.
There's a whole conspiracy on her too. Like we won't get into, but no.
Well, shit. Nickelback. Sorry, man. People act like they don't like you, but your paycheck says differently.
Thumbs down on that. Damn.
Yes.
Top three. Number 3, Korn. I feel like I don't know, man. Between Korn, Linkin Park, and Breaking Benjamin, I don't know, man. I thought Korn would be in the top 2 for some reason.
Agree.
I thought those.
I don't know. Like Korn, legendary. Jonathan Davis, Fieldy, Monkey. I mean, those dudes, they are special. I don't know, man. I mean, they have a lot of good songs, but I can see why they're not 2 or number 1. I can see it. I can understand.
Yeah.
It's in this category. I guess I can understand it.
And that's the thing
with
is,
this,
with that first one, I was like, do I want to? Everyone's like, why didn't you put this band in there? And I'm like, well, that would have been fun if we would have put like the top 5 bands and been like, which ones? Like, yeah, let's have some fun with it for a little bit. I'm thinking that what we should do is we should take all the winners and have them face each other somehow.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's
love
do
that.
Yeah. Korn. I mean, if you think about Korn, I feel like it's a select crowd of people.
Yeah, you could be right on that. Because I put Korn and people were like, why didn't you put Limp Bizkit? And I was like, that's exactly why I didn't put Limp Bizkit, because then you had to choose between those two, but I wish I would have now.
Yeah, like if you want to go nu metal, then I would say that's a good challenge, but I would say most people would probably be afraid to vote for Limp Bizkit over Korn because of how iconic Jonathan Davis is.
Bro,
no, you don't think so?
I'd vote for Limp Bizkit all day.
I mean, I
honestly would too.
Yeah, dude, and it's not, and I did not base. So the way I look at this poll, it's not who is the more talented musician. It's what if I get in my car right now, which band am I going to jam to over these? That's how I
would go
it.
Limp Bizkit.
Same.
Put on some
Yeah,
Nookie. Let's go.
Now, what about if you did Slipknot against Korn?
Well, Korn didn't
Slipknot.
win. Oh, are you just asking?
I know,
who
but
I
but I'm just saying, yeah. Like if it was in that kind of category, though, like if you did Korn, because that's I feel like that's a very similar category with each other.
I would probably pick Korn.
See, that's I would stand on that too.
I probably pick
honestly.
Korn just because I think I love Slipknot, but would I listen to their albums front to back? No, probably not.
Yeah, that's how I am too.
So, what do you think on that, Spicoli?
About Korn versus Slipknot?
Yeah.
I'd probably choose Slipknot, dude. They got just a bunch of different things, and I really like Korn. I like Korn a lot, but I think there's just a little bit something different that Slipknot offers.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be a tough one.
I know.
Well,
it's hard.
Well, shit. Top two, number 2 is gonna fucking throw the twist. I for sure thought Linkin Park was gonna be the runaway on this, dude, and Linkin Park came in second.
Yikes! That feels like a
That's
disservice to Linkin Park. Oh my goodness, that one stings a little bit.
It could have been your vote for Nickelback. Went to Linkin Park though. You see what I'm saying? You picked Nickelback over all of them.
Yeah,
That's
because
why
I
it's
just felt
interesting.
like nobody's going to give love to Nickelback because they'll be embarrassed, but there's nothing to be embarrassed about when it comes to Nickelback, for real.
No.
So based off what I said off your vote, would you, if you got in your car, you'd rather listen to Nickelback than Linkin Park?
I mean, I love Nickelback, dude, so yeah, I'm going Nickelback, even though I love Linkin Park, you know? I mean, I had Chester Bennington and Mike Shinoda on my last radio show, and they were so cool, dude. Like, so cool. Did I ever have Chad Kruger? It came down to it. I mean, we were close. There's like, it almost happened 2 times. But, dang, man, there's just something about, I don't know, that Nickelback's lyrics, I feel like, just kind of hit me different. But I love Linkin Park, dude. It depends. Where am I at in the day? Am I at the gym? I definitely want Linkin Park because listen to Bleed It Out, dude.
Yeah.
Listen to Bleed It Out by Linkin Park.
So dope.
Love that song. And in the end, One Step Closer, those songs are just classics, man.
Obviously, I would probably put on Nickelback. Like,
Really?
I
Okay.
love me some Linkin. Yeah, I love me some Linkin Park. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'll listen to. I'm sorry, but I do have satellite radio, so
Ooh, big baller.
I know. Woo! And I'll listen to like Turbo, and they play like the older stuff, you know, and all of a sudden I'll hear like an old Linkin Park song I haven't heard in years, and then I'm like, ooh, I do get little goosebumps when I hear it because I'm like, ooh, this reminds me of high school. This is amazing. But will I go and play like the whole CD and listen to the album? No. Nickelback, different story. I would go and totally look up the Spotify playlist and start playing it.
That makes sense. To
So-
me, Linkin Park is like, this is not a diss on Linkin Park at all. But it just, I don't know, man. So like Hybrid Theory was amazing. And that was it the second album, Meteora, as that was called?
Yeah.
That was amazing. And then that's all to me, Linkin Park, that was Linkin Park to me, was those first 2 albums. Shocked that from all the Linkin Park love that they did not get first place. But the band that I picked got first place. And that's Breaking Benjamin. You think that's wrong?
Breaking Benjamin, the first time I heard Diary of Jane, or no, it was Polyamorous.
Polyamorous, dude.
I remember debuting that on the radio, and I was like, I don't even know how to say this word, but here's new music from Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah.
My polyamor is real.
He's got such a weird voice, yeah.
Yeah, it was so different, and people were calling, they're like, who is this band? What is the name of this song? I remember just the reaction was crazy. And, you know, we brought them to town, and it would sell out, and people were just go nuts for Breaking Benjamin.
Dude,
So
you guys
I
brought
understand-
them
I
with
understand.
fucking Papa Roach. Do you remember that show out at West Fair?
Of course, dude. Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
my God. What a show that was.
I'll have to say, I am not a big Breaking Benjamin fan. It's nothing against them. I just, Polyamorous is probably like my only song. I hear that song and I'm like, oh, it gets me going. Any other song by them? No. But I do have friends that are like, that's their favorite band. They're like, it hits them and like they mean a lot to them. But me, I don't know.
Let's crack the mold.
I get
I'll
it.
crack the mold right now while everybody picked Breaking
Yeah.
Benjamin. You ready?
Yes.
Breaking Benjamin has toured with Nickelback numerous times. And it's not embarrassing to say you like Breaking Benjamin. Breaking Benjamin is the harder version of Nickelback. That's what I think. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, dude. That's
Think
that's
how many
fair.
bangers
They
they have. Think how many singles
got
Breaking
a lot.
Benjamin has.
a lot. It's like Give Me a Sign and Diarrhea Jane and Polyamorous.
Sooner or later.
Like those three songs. Which one?
Sooner or later. That was on your new radio station. That was on 98.5 back in the day, dude.
Yep. That was a big one. I remember like I'd be making concert promos and I'd be like, it was so tough to pick like which hooks would sell Breaking Benjamin the most. And it would be Polyamorous, Diarrhea Jane, Sooner or Later. You know, I would try to squeeze it in because it sounded so cool in the promo and it would just get you so excited. And it worked, dude. Those songs make people feel a certain type of way, and they resonate with that. And whether they're just doing their hard show or even if they're stripping it down, it still sounds super cool.
So people were like messaging me and commenting and saying like, "Hey, you should put out a better list. That one, you know, that one was too easy." And obviously, it wasn't because you didn't pick Linkin Park, who, in my head, was like a clear winner. So we made the new one pretty fun. So let's see who the new one is. And I think Jay Spicoli, you already voted, didn't you?
I did. I saw it, and I knew right away who I'm going with.
So this one is Green Day, Blink-182, Weezer, Goldfinger, and The Offspring.
This one was a little hard for me.
This one is a lot more balanced, except for Goldfinger ain't really hanging on there. But
I did vote already, but it was a little hard for me between a couple of them. So I was like, ugh. But I had to think back, like, who did I, like, really listen to and who will I, go towards? But yeah,
I should repost it and type that. But of these bands, when you get in your car, who are you going to listen to? That's how we should do it.
You know,
I think so.
I kind of feel guilty, because the first CD I bought was Dookie, but I didn't pick Green Day.
Full disclosure, just so everybody listening knows this, I cannot pick the same thing Spicoli picks. So if he votes first, then I got to pick one of the other four. Luckily, on the last one, it was you picked Nickelback, and I was like, "Oh, dude, we're good then."
yeah, that was a given.
Can I pick who I think you guys will pick?
I've already voted. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll say
Yeah,
who
I voted
I don't
too.
care.
Okay, I feel like Steph picked Offspring.
No.
No? Okay.
See, that was going to be my choice, but then I thought about it because I'm like, there is one song that I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head right now.
Dude, Offspring's getting a ton of love right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were mine, but no, I did Blink-182. I did.
That's
Yeah.
what I expect. So that's the Linkin Park of this round to me. Is that's what I think's going to happen. If they don't win, I'm going to be completely shocked. Spicoli, I knew you voted Blink right away.
Right
I was
away,
looking at the
dude.
list, and I was like,
Gotta love Blink, man. They put the biggest smile on my face.
I was torn between Green Day and Weezer, though. I was torn between Green Day and Weezer.
I bet you picked
But I
Weezer.
picked Green Day. I picked Green Day.
Did you? Okay.
I might switch it, honestly. I don't know, man.
Something
We'll see.
about Green Day, though, like now they're just a little woke. They're a whole lot of woke. They're a whole lot of woke. And, some people love that. Some people are kind of turned off by that. So it depends where you stand right now in life. Like, for me, I always associate Green Day with Dookie and American Idiot. And, that stuff always made me happy. Like, Welcome to Paradise and Fork in the Road, all that stuff. Like, I love those songs. Newer Green Day is a little bit different. A little bit different.
That's the tough thing, because the new Blink, oh, dude. It's just like old Blink.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Agreed.
And I think that's the vibe everybody wanted. Like, they had to kind of go back to that to remember who they were, where they were at that time, and why people love them. And also their stage performance, dude. It's just, they're so funny on stage. They just can't stop cracking jokes, and they're so good. And they can just turn the microphone around, and everybody knows every lyric. It's insane watching Blink-182 play. It's just everybody knows every single word to every single song, and you don't know what Mark and Tom are going to do on stage, and Travis tries to keep them focused. All right, got the drums. Let's go.
So they are the punk Nickelback.
They're the punk Nickelback, yeah.
They're the punk Nickelback. We have the harder Nickelback who won last round. See, I'm going to keep going back to Nickelback for you, too, because I know that you guys are pissed that they didn't get very much love. And obviously, we had some comments, too, from people that were like, fuck you, like, why aren't you voting for Nickelback? No, man, I think we've got I think this is going to be a fun thing with this poll thing. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see what the listeners pick. That's pretty much the cool thing. I thought the first round was awesome. Second round, I think all three of us are in agreement who we think is going to win. So when we come back on Sunday, if they don't win, I think we're all going to be very shocked.
Yes.
You know what to do, people. Blink 182 all the way.
Green Day all the way.
I'd say Offspring, but I didn't pick them.
Offspring's hanging with Blink right now, so we'll see. But Steph, thanks so much for coming on. I know that people are always requesting you to come on, so we'd love to have you on anytime. So
I love being on with you guys.
Yeah,
so
it's always
fun.
a blast. You can always catch Steph at Stir Cove. She's working there. She's always. Do you guys got some concerts coming up in 2024? Some good ones?
Oh yeah, we already have 2 announced that everybody knows. With Dustin Lynch, that was a little country artist.
Yep.
That's our first show on May 11th, and then was it
these
June,
boys,
June 13th,
we got some
14th.
Take It Back Sunday coming.
Yeah,
Look, I got a whole
June
ass button
14th.
for it again.
Yep. And plenty
I
more to
can't wait.
come. Plenty more to come. So yeah, it's gonna be another great year, and I'm excited.
Yeah,
My second year out there. And
Steph's a big part of that, Stir Cove. So, man, if you have any ideas for her, just reach her out on your Facebook page.
I do have one. It's Stephanie Doty, Caesars Iowa Sponsorships Manager. So I just made that. So I love it.
And we'll tag it for you on this when we drop this podcast. So
Perfect.
you gonna come back next Sunday and chat with us?
Yeah, definitely.
Hell yeah, man. We'll talk to you guys next week.
All the way to the midnight